This is Townsquare Sunday on 1420 WBSM, the place where people come together to talk about the good things happening in and around New Bedford. And now, the moderator of Townsquare Sunday, Jim.
And a good Sunday morning to you. Welcome to Townsquare Sunday, our weekly public affairs program. I'm your host, Jim Phillips. There's an ongoing debate in many cities of the Commonwealth, including New Bedford, about charter schools. Some are looking to start new schools, while existing charters seeking to expand. Meantime, members of the New Bedford School Committee, as an example, are opposed to any expansion of charter schools, and that includes Mayor John Mitchell as well. Joining me to discuss this ongoing debate and charter schools in general is Dr. Stephen Furtado, Executive Director of the Global Learning Charter School, I should say Global Learning Charter Public School. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Jim. It's a pleasure to be here again with you.
Okay, Global Learning has applied for a modest 100 new seats to the state. Tell us what your plans are with those seats.
Well, this is our third attempt in expanding the school. Primarily, we'd like to build up the population of our high school. We have a number of new programs and additions, and so we believe that with a waiting list of almost 400 students, we'd like to increase our population by 100, not overnight, to phase it in appropriately. And we hope to hear from the state on this amendment sometime in December or January.
Look, there was a recent vote, a statewide vote about charter schools, and the citizenship of Massachusetts, the Commonwealth voters, decided that they didn't want to exceed the cap on charter schools. How does that affect these expansion decisions, or does it?
Well, every city and town has an amount of charter seats available to them based on the local school district's performance. And currently New Bedford has about 1,250 seats available for charter students in the city. And so that cap was the same prior to the vote, and so therefore that hasn't changed.
All right, so when the state agency that makes these decisions on charter seats, do they have to take that vote in, accept the premise there, or was it just a non-binding vote? What does it mean?
It was a binding vote, and the cap would have been raised where there would have been more availability of charter seats in every city and town. But the voting population spoke loudly and clearly that they did not want to increase that. And so we're working with the existing numbers that we have in New Bedford and throughout the Commonwealth.
Is further expansion in your future, besides 100 seats?
We hope so. We're looking to locate a new facility and expand ourselves. Hopefully within the next 4 or 5 months we may have some news as to where we might be relocating. And I'll be very happy to share that news once we can make it official.
You're currently on Nashua Boulevard,
and
former St. Anthony's.
Right, and our satellite campus is also downtown at the old Sovereign Bank building. So really we're running two campuses. The high school primarily is there all day at downtown. In the morning we have foreign language there, science and social studies in the morning for juniors and seniors, and the freshmen and sophomores go there in the afternoon. We just flip them and shuttle them back and forth.
Is the goal eventually to have all students one campus?
Yeah. Our mantra right now is one school, one roof.
Okay, that about says it all.
Yeah.
Look, you read the papers like I do. What's your reaction to the recent vote by the school committee to oppose more charter school seats in New Bedford? It happened last week, and they were pretty clear about how they felt.
I mean, the school committee and city officials, I mean, they have a job to do, and their primary focus is to support the public school in the city, and so therefore I can't fault them for that reasoning. They have a job to do, and so I look at it as simply throughout the entire charter movement, we're just giving families a choice. I can understand the city councils and school committees' resistance in increasing charters. But right now, the ones that we have, I think we're here to stay. And our goal is to continue to work with the city officials, with the New Bedford Public Schools, and I had a very, very positive meeting with the new superintendent, and I think we share the same philosophy that it's all about kids.
As also been reported recently, there's a lot of talk about expansion in New Bedford in the charter schools. You have sought a very modest 100 new seats, but there are others. Alma Del Mar, for instance, who is looking for more than 1,100 new seats, and yet another group applying to open a 6 to 12 school, grade 6 to 12, more than 1,000 seats. Why all the interest in expansion?
I think because of the amount of seats that are available and the choices that are available to families throughout the city, they believe that it's an attractive thing to do. And so between our waiting list and I would imagine Alma Del Mar's waiting list, they can see where families are hoping to enroll. And so the feeling is that there is a need. And so we appear to be a place where some folks believe that they can increase the numbers and begin with new schools.
You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips. My guest is Dr. Stephen Furtado, the Executive Director of the Global Learning Charter Public School in New Bedford. This conversation should not be all about the somber subject of expansion and funding. It should also be about what's happening at your school. And schools open on Monday, tomorrow.
That's absolutely correct, and we're ready. We have new staff, many new staff in our building. We have some new programs coming. We are expanding our dual enrollment college program with Bristol Community College and with UMass Dartmouth. We have some new honors programs coming in, and so we're very, very pleased with the direction the school's going in, and we're ready for the kids on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Some new things that have happened there. I know that I've seen some things on Facebook about your band, which is fledgling, but promising, I'll say.
Our bands won some remarkable awards at the Six Flags competitions in the spring. Our jazz band won the Platinum Award. Our high school band won the Gold. We are just doing a bang-up job with the kids and with our director. We're very, very proud of our music program.
All right, now to get back to the more somber stuff. You've heard the following statement for a long time. Charter schools take money from public schools' budgets, and it's hurting public schools. You've heard that probably since you opened the doors. How many years has it been, by the way?
Well, Global Learning has been in existence since 2002.
Okay.
But it was, for the first 5 years, it was a Horace Mann charter under the jurisdiction of New Bedford's public schools. And then in 2007, it became a Commonwealth charter on its own.
So, you've heard that statement about charter schools take money from the public schools. Now, you do get a financial payment from the public schools to run your school, to a per pupil payment. Is that correct? Or?
No.
No? Well, explain to me.
And I think this is where the information needs to be clear. All of our money that we receive comes from the state of Massachusetts. The Department of Elementary and Secondary Ed sets the amount we receive based on New Bedford Public Schools' net school spending. And so all of our money comes directly from the state. Not one penny of any property taxes in the city of New Bedford comes to fund charter schools. And so that needs to be clear. A lot of people feel that the taxpayers in New Bedford are funding charters, and they are not through their property taxes.
So the statement, other statements that I've heard in defense of charter schools is, the money follows the student. Is that more correct?
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. Anywhere a student goes, if a student leaves New Bedford and goes to Fairhaven or Dartmouth, the money follows the student. And so it's the same with a charter school. Money follows the kid. And right now we're about $1,800 less per pupil than the New Bedford Public Schools per pupil.
All right, and yet you're still making it work.
We're making it work on a budget that's just under $7 million.
And how many students?
500.
Oh, total?
Total.
High school and...
Total, 5 through 12.
All right. But don't you get money as well from the other costs that may go beyond the per pupil expense? If you need a specialist, if you need equipment, specialized equipment, don't you get funding for that? Where does that funding come from?
We've been very, very fortunate to have Dr. Jacobs and Mrs. Jacobs that have been very supportive to the school through technology, but anything above and beyond that we receive from the state has to come from asking for money through capital funding or through fundraising, writing grants. But once we receive the money from the state, that tuition money, that's it. Everything else we raise is either through fundraising or through the goodness of people supporting us through our annual appeal.
And that's, that's one of the things. Have those friends, if you will.
Yes.
Clearly.
I can't say enough about how much Dr. Jacobs and Mrs. Jacobs have done for the school for years and years, and they're just wonderful people, and they really support our kids.
What's the real answer to the funding question? Does it involve the legislature anteing up or coming up with a system that provides you with adequate funds and provides the public schools with adequate funds to do what they need to do?
The whole funding formula needs to be re-examined. I've reached out to Mayor Mitchell, and I would love to work with him, to work with the legislature to take a look at the whole formula and see exactly how it can be repaired, not tweaked, but repaired. When the formula first came into existence in 1993 with that reform, we're looking into a law now that's 25 years old. It's time to look at it again and to refresh the formula that's based on what charter schools have done for the state over the past 25 years. My philosophy has been that I think when the law first went into effect, that some folks felt that charter schools weren't going to be successful, and they have been. And so now it's time to re-examine the whole charter school movement in the state and the funding of charter schools, where it's not. We really have to stop this us versus them philosophy and take a look at the whole child, the whole city child, and just make it work better.
Do you see a role where, you've spoken with Mr. Anderson, I know, because he mentioned it a week or so ago on this program. Have you and he, are you looking at ways to work together to somehow have the charter school work with the public school to educate all kids involved? I mean, is that possible? Is there a way to do that?
I think it's possible. I think you begin with working together with teachers through professional development. New Bedford's got some wonderful programs, as do we, and it's all about sharing best practices. And so, working with their teachers, with our teachers, administration, coming up with some really exciting programs that we could work together. And I know that in my conversation with Tom, I know he believes in that, and I'm hoping that we can just continue this and broaden our communication and broaden our collaboration.
So nothing set in stone as of yet?
Not yet. Tom needs to really get his feet on the ground here, and it's been a whirlwind for him. And right now he has other priorities. But we will continue to open the lines of communication, and hopefully we will work together.
There's another thing we hear a lot about charter schools. Public school also, those who support public schools, I should say, said that charter schools get to show the door to students who are troublesome, while the public school has to admit those students and attempt to educate them. What do you say about that?
Well, I think if you take a look at our enrollment rate and the students that have left us, we have a very, very strong discipline policy, but the policy also works with families. And so we just don't give up on kids. Has there been occasion where students have left us to go back to the public school? Yes. It is a very, very rare occasion. We do not throw kids out. We work as hard as we can with them and their families, social workers, psychologists. We do an awful lot of background work too with families, and so the idea that we throw them out because we want to is just not the case.
School year starts, as we said, tomorrow. Looking forward to it?
We are looking forward to a great year. I think it's going to be an exciting year. Hopefully, if this the whole plan of finding a new building and moving forward with that project will be exciting for all of us. Great ideas coming forward. We got some really great new staff with some great ideas. I see a lot of energy in the building right now, and so looking forward to a really exciting year.
And again, all this rush to expansion and addition. You ask for 100, they ask for 1,000. Is that good strategy? What do you think?
I can't speak for my colleagues. As I've said to folks, I have a school to run, and our goal right now is to increase our population by 100 students, and right now that's where our focus is.
All right, and good luck with the school year.
Thank you, Jim, very much. Pleasure to be here with you.
My thanks to Dr. Stephen Furtado, the Executive Director of the Global Learning Charter Public School in New Bedford. Really have a great year over there. Townsquare Sunday rolls on. We're back in just one moment.
All right. Thank you. Pleasure again, always.